to the goofball army out there. Hi at the families. Tell them to get to the next room. Tell them to go to your neighbors because we got goofball news to go over, and it might get crazy.
Typically does, guys. If it's your first episode ever, you got like 30 seconds before we start, so not enough time to go to the bathroom, but go get a drink because trust me, you're probably going to need it there. In the meantime, the rest, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. That way you know about future episodes as well, guys. Buckle your seatbelts if you haven't already. Make sure your tray is in the upright position here, guys, because we are just about ready to get going. And like, oof.
Guys, if you want a crazy ride going forward, a bunch of nonsense, but all nothing but the truth about the Giants, listen in, buckle in, tell a friend.
Let's go.
And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, the New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by
me, Rob. And let's get this Wednesday show on the road with the hump day, if you will.
What?
Drew, you ready for the humping?
I'm always ready for the humping. Are you offering?
Oh, hey, get out of
here. Your face was priceless. Anyway.
Hey, you're 6'7", but it's not that big.
Listen, guys, we got a lot to go over here today, and unfortunately, let's be honest here, we're not nearly as pumped we were last week, right? I mean, last week we were like, oh, week 1, football, and now we're like, week 2, god damn it, we suck again. Yeah,
we suck again.
Exactly what it's like. So yeah, we definitely a little more solemn today, as we go into week 2 of wasn't a great start by any stretch of the imagination of the season here. But listen, guys, we got injury updates to go over with you. One had surgery, one missed practice, and everybody's making a big deal for no apparent reason. And we're going to go ahead and, of course, give you guys that preview of with the week 2 matchup here with the Giants at Dallas as we go over what's changed in the Dallas Cowboys in the last year since we've seen them last, and, of course, keys to victory here for you guys. So buckle up and let's get it rolling here. All righty, guys, let's get right into it. The first one, like I said, the surgery that everybody, pretty much knew was going to happen here based on what happened on Sunday there. But yeah, Micah McFadden officially has had his surgery today, and mums was the word a little bit leading up to it there. It wasn't any talk of like, oh, yep, he's having surgery. It was kind of like, well, he's going to be out for a while. We don't know exactly how long. They weren't exactly kind of forthcoming with it. Don't get me wrong, nothing that broke like the code of the media and the team kind of stuff they have to do there. But it was a little weird. Like, you had to have known the guy was getting surgery, and it didn't get announced till the day of the surgery. But yeah, he's expected to be back potentially at the end of the season. We'll see based on how that works. You never know with these big injuries what's going to happen. Setbacks happen all the time. It is a foot surgery that they're doing here with them. So, we'll have to see, obviously got twisted up in that game against the Commanders there. If you want to call it a game, it was more of a massacre, but, it is what it is.
Yeah. It was sad.
Yeah. So, I mean, the big thing now is we got to look at is who's going to replace him? Obviously we had the matchup there last week. We had Darius Muasau going in and replacing him. I think that it's pretty obvious that the Giants really want that to work. In fact, based on what we're seeing here, there was absolutely nobody brought in for a workout unless they were brought in under cover of night or under a blanket that nobody saw and got snuck in that way, like a Trojan horse, perhaps. There's no news breaking of anybody coming in for a visit here. So right now we got what we got, guys. We got Darius Muasau, who, for a 6th-round draft pick last year, didn't have a bad rookie season. I think that's safe to say.
It's very safe to say.
Yeah. But not the guy you want going in on the starting rate. Like, that's not what we want, guys. Let's be very frank.
That's supposed to be your backup type of guy.
Yeah. And, past him, you got a couple of guys who were basically special teamers. That's it. There's no one really on this roster like, oh, God, if this guy has to play, I think we're okay. But you still prefer McFadden to be healthy, obviously. No, we're at the more of like, okay, we have somebody we didn't really want to see on the field starting. And then 2 guys who were primarily, special teams, and Chris Board, Demetrius Flanagan Fowles. I'm kind of shocked the Giants aren't bringing somebody in unless they just do, or unless they're waiting till next week to see how Muasau does one more week, and if he plays as bad, maybe then they bring somebody in. I wish I kind of knew the plan there, but it's not like the Giants do give that out on a regular basis, and they shouldn't. Again, we want to know because we're selfish, but in the end, we shouldn't know, because if we know, everybody knows. We're not good at holding secrets.
We broadcast it everywhere.
Exactly. On YouTube, Facebook, Twitter /X, Twitch, and of course, Rob's favorite, my LinkedIn profile.
Yeah,
all the audio podcasts next day. but I was looking at where is the best spot at that point to go ahead and look for a replacement here. And guys, again, you're talking September, middle of September. Nobody exactly, there's no Pro Bowler coming out of the wings going, hold on, I was waiting for this opportunity to do your
week 2
time. That's not what's happening here, obviously, guys. And I think the only guy that I saw that I'm looking at as far as a free agent is ironically a guy who played for the Cowboys last year. And I'm kind of, I don't want to say ticked off because I'm not to that point, but I'm a little frustrated. I don't hear anything about the Giants bringing this guy in right now. You're playing his former team. He's probably the best as far as the middle linebackers, the off-ball linebackers that you're going to potentially get on the streets right now. And that's Eric Kendricks, who, don't get me wrong, is past his prime. Let me be very clear on that. Past his prime. But again, it's September. You're not going to get anybody that great. That's just not the way it's going to be. He is 6 years removed from his last Pro Bowl season. Let's be pretty clear on this. That's where we're at. But last season, 15 games, 138 tackles, 3 sacks, along with having 3 passes deflected, 3 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. 2 interceptions. This is not the guy. This is not the guy that you sit there and say, he can't be on the football field anymore. That's not a bad season. Is he a Pro Bowler? No. Is he a great guy? Is he the guy you really want starting? No. He's going to be 33 years old this year. He's definitely on the downward swing. Yeah. But that's a guy that you could sit there and put in and go, you know what? Is he as good as McFadden? Maybe not. But is he a horrible down swing from there? Maybe not.
Probably not. And with the age and his downswing, you'll probably get him at a cheap cost as well.
Yeah, you would think at this point, sitting around in the middle of September is a veteran minimum.
Yeah.
And you got to think that what they would do is go ahead and probably put him on the practice squad and just call him up and give him a couple weeks to kind of see what they think. That's usually what they do in this scenario. But I just don't understand how that hasn't happened unless there's been a call made and he's like, no, I'm good.
Which could be. But you would think you would want to bring someone into our camp to start learning our system and figuring out what to do, this way you're not blindsided going into a game.
Yeah. Well, I guess where you need the time at that point, you probably would more split him time with Muasau at that point and let him know what he has to do in each play in between him going in. But it's also the guy just played for the Dallas Cowboys, who had pretty much everybody injured last year and didn't make the playoffs. He played for the Chargers the year before that. The last year before they got Harbaugh, the team did not play good. He's been on a couple of bad teams. Do they think he wants to do a third year of what is most likely a bad one?
Probably not.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like maybe there's a part of that. And maybe that's part of the problem the Giants are having. They're not going to announce that. How crazy would it be? We call people, but nobody wants to come play here.
Yeah.
That would be a bad look. That would be a very bad look. But like I said,
terrible.
It's a guy I think they should look at. And if Muasau plays as good as he played in week 1, and they haven't contacted him yet, quite frankly, it's franchise malpractice not to try to get somebody else like this in. And there's probably a couple other people that were out there as well that, again, you're not gonna oh my God, look, I can't believe we got this guy kind of reaction, but at least better than what we got.
So much better than what we got.
The other option is put Abdul Carter there and play him more at linebacker. But then the question comes in to be, if you put him an off-ball linebacker, are you now preventing him from really shining at the edge position? Or do you just put him there on certain downs, perhaps? There's options here. The cupboard's not completely bare, don't get me wrong. It's It's almost like going into like the chop kitchen and you're trying to put things together, put a meal together here, basically. I don't know.
pretty much.
Yeah. So, we'll see what the Giants do. We'll see what happens this week and see if it's a little better. I mean, it can't get worse. That's for damn sure. I probably shouldn't say that, but we'll see what happens overall. And, hopefully they 1-2 things. Either there's better play or the Giants wake up next week and say, you know what, we need to get another linebacker in here. If this ain't going to cut it. But that's just not the Giants' way typically. They sit there and say, okay, we're next guy up. That's why we got these guys. But yeah, it's a little discouraging, that's for sure, to see that. Next up, let's talk about the guy that missed practice. A guy who's probably one of the most important players in this team and missed practice, and everybody's
But don't worry about it.
freaking out. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Every little thing's gonna be all right, guys. Andrew Thomas missed practice today, and I can't tell you how many content creators and how many Giants reporters are talking all about it. Guys, Brian Dable said point blank, this was a planned day to not practice him on his road back. There was no setback. There was nothing like that. And he plans on practicing the next 2 days. Why are people freaking out over this? Why are people trying to freak people out over this?
It's absolute lunacy. Like on your road to recovery, when your doctor says or whatever, you're not. Or you know what? Even better, your boss comes to tell you, "Hey, you're getting paid on Tuesday. Don't show up to work, but you're still getting paid. Just don't do it."
I'm not showing up.
I'm staying home.
But it's also, like I said, if they had a plan together, and from all accounts, it's actually been a very good, working relationship with Andrew Thomas and the Giants about how to work this out and get this going where they bring him back, but bring him back when he's fully healthy and he feels ready. So it's not even more of a longer term thing there. But in the meantime, you can't just sit there and freak out every time the guy misses when this team is telling you point blank, he missed practice today because it was a planned one. It's part of the recovery process. We're not going to put him out there every single day.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Anytime that I see a content creator, and I'm not going to name any specific names, but I saw a few of them here today. Anytime I see a content creator spreading that kind of BS, they go on the list point blank of, you're not coming on our show, and I'm probably never watching your show. That's what it boils down to. I don't need BS like that. Hell, I saw one today. I couldn't even pronounce Brian Dable's name.
You couldn't, or they couldn't?
I saw one today. Somebody was doing that. Like, they kept saying DeBall over and over and over again. DeBall. It's like, his name is Dable.
After 4 years, think you would learn that.
Yeah, like, way to be a Giants content creator. Like, I'm not going to knock anybody specifically and name any names like that.
Unless AI, I am a bot.
But to give the false information like that is absolutely crazy. So, guys, just chill, relax. I know we're all stressed about Andrew Thomas. I know we want to get him back on the field. But, it's going to happen when it's going to happen. And if you try to force him back quicker than he should be, then they're going to have him out longer. What's 100%. More important, having him play in week 2 or having him play week 3 through 18?
I was going to say, listen, at the end of the day, what's better, week 5 through 18 or come back week 2, play the week 4, and then go out for another 3 weeks, and then week 8, play to week 12, and then be out for the season?
Don't even put that out there, because I'm telling you, like, that's just the idea of him being out for 5 weeks is just absolutely insane. I don't want it, because I don't want to put that out there, because I feel like if he's gone for like 4 or 5 weeks, the season's over.
He's not going to be, but at the end of the day, what's better? Like,
I know
you're talking missing 4 games, you come back week 5, or you're talking about him playing 5 games or 6 games and being out for the rest of the year. Like,
I know. Like I said, it's just I don't want to go down that road. I still want to do it. And I see all of the comments asking who it is. Like I said, I don't talk negatively about specific content creators, unless it's somebody who did something just so like insane, And even then, I usually don't. Like, there's one right now going after Bobby Skinner right now, point blank, just for clout on X. You guys can see that, and you can see that one. That's easy enough to look up. So I get all the dirt on the Giants content creator stuff going on in the community, but like I said, it's just
Drew is the TMZ of gossip. Giants.
you know what the beauty of this? I'm the guy who learns all this stuff because we all talk, but I don't get involved in it. That's the way to be. That's the way to be. I get all the tea, but I'm not spilling the tea myself. I'm just watching everybody else. I'm just watching everybody else with their napkins and paper towels.
Yeah, just take a sip, like Kermit the Frog.
Anyway,
it's a return off the Mac.
Don't get us. You already heard him say that. You can't do that. You can't do that. Anyway, let's go ahead and pay the bills real quick, guys, and then we're going to get into the preview here of the Giants Cowboys Week 2 here.
Thanks for watching. Like the show? Of course you do, or you would have turned it off by now and not be hearing me. There are plenty of ways to support the show. YouTube is the best place to join us, and we offer memberships there with fun benefits like custom emojis and early access to video clips. Of course, there you can also send super chats and stickers to send one-time support payments. The best way to support the show is to buy these drunk idiots beers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Along with one-time support payments, there are also monthly plans, so you can continue to help kill their livers each month. You can also show people that you are a goofball by visiting our store at 2giantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. We got everything from shirts, hats, phone cases, funny candles, buttons, stickers, and even a 2Giant Goofballs towel to dry off your goofballs. Of course, you can always support the show for free by simply hitting the like, subscribe, and share button wherever you are watching or listening to this. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show tremendously, and quite frankly, the goofballs suck at marketing and need your help to get the word out. Thank you for being part of the Goofball Army and for taking the time out to support the show.
All righty, guys. Let's get right into it here, talking about the preview of Week 2 here, and hopefully it's a much better Week 2 than it was a Week 1. That's for goddamn sure. But let's meet the 2025 Cowboys here, because again, we know a lot of what's going on with the Cowboys here, just being in the same division, the NFC East and all. But listen, things do change from year to year, obviously. The big thing, obviously, again, they've in case you've been living under a rock, they have a brand new head coach. They have Mike McCarthy has left, and Brian Schottenheimer has actually been added as the new head coach, which is just insanity. That's really like a guy who, quite frankly, I don't think even got like any interviews the last couple of years, basically. Like nobody was going to hire this guy as a head coach. And hate to be kind of like, I almost feel bad at this point. It's kind of sad as this. I almost feel bad about like talking trash about any of the team because our team has been such trash. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this with the knowledge of acknowledging that our team is trash right now. But Jerry Jones is so bad to work with at point blank, nobody wanted the job.
It's pretty safe to say.
I mean, let's just call it what it is.
Yeah, he was lucky he got McCarthy when he did, and like we all saw what McCarthy did. Like he just gave you above average.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's what he's been. Besides the 1 year he got 15 years ago with the Packers, where he got the Super Bowl, but you had, Aaron Rodgers in his prime and basically every other thing possible that you needed to win a championship. Like, then shame on you for not getting one with that team. Should have gotten more. But Schottenheimer is just like I said. That was a shock hire and a half. Like nobody wanted the job. Let's just call it like it is. Then they bring in former Bears head coach Matt Eberflus as the defensive coordinator as well. But yeah, like it's just insanity. And this just that in itself is a failure as a franchise. I'm sorry that's the move you made. Like you took a guy who at least brought teams to the playoffs on a regular basis, and you go ahead and instead bring in a guy who, quite frankly, isn't qualified. Like nobody was giving this guy a shot whatsoever to be a head coach. Like he's an offensive coordinator. He's that career offensive coordinator that just kind of skates on by as a slightly above average guy that somebody will give a job to because he's slightly above average. That's what it is.
Pretty much.
And we all know the train wreck Eberflus was in Chicago. So it's not like you gave him a veteran guy to be on the team to help him out with anything a new coach might need help with.
If Jerry Jones didn't have an ego, it's almost like they're doing a Saturday kind of move and just hiring a coach just to tank. But obviously, looking to play in Philadelphia, they weren't looking to tank.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this team. I don't think this team wants to tank at all. I think that they think that this team is ready to win, basically, which is just insanity. Like, don't get me wrong, they played better week one than I expected, but I don't think this is a team that's you're going, ooh, the Cowboys are right up there with the Eagles, the Packers, the Vikings, the teams that you would put up there right now as the better teams in the NFC. Here's their additions, what we got added onto the Cowboys here to look forward to on Sunday here. Not that you'll see them, but we're kind of going order of like position here. On quarterback, they did add Joe Milton III, who you probably won't see. Yeah, but again, he beat the backup Bills. He's great apparently. Javonte Williams, the running back, they added as well, which is, if you know what the Broncos and what they've done the last couple of years, he's been with them for 4 years. Last year, he did 139 carries, 513 yards, the 3.6 yards per carry average, 4 touchdowns, 52 catches for 346 yards as well. So not a great guy. Kind of like if I want to compare him to somebody on the Giants, if you're listening and you're more of a Giants fan specifically, Motor. Like Devin Singletary, that's basically what he is at this point. And I mean Devin Singletary now, not Devin Singletary a couple of years ago at his prime, like Devin Singletary now.
No, I think he actually might even be a step back. We're gonna be obviously if you look at his stats, like fantasy wise, like obviously like might have been a little better than Singletary last year, but that's not saying much.
I mean, again, not a great guy, but not a horrible guy. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like you can sit there and say he's, a horrible player. He's just not great. Not what you want out of a starter, that's for damn sure.
Nah.
Miles Sanders also brought in. Again, obviously, most of y'all may know him from his days with the Eagles. Obviously, he had a 1,200-yard season with the Eagles a couple of years ago. Spent the last 2 seasons with the Panthers, where he came back crashing to earth. Last year, 55 carries, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns, 24 catches for 148 yards and a touchdown as well.
Yeah, but Drew, he has to play the Giants twice, so he's going to have a good.
That was all the Eagles line. That was nothing to do whatsoever with him. I'm sorry, that just is what it is. Like I said, look at Saquon. He went there. Look at everybody else when he's going there. I mean, it just is what it is. It's a great offensive line with a great running system. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, one of the big changes here. George Pickens got added and got traded from the Steelers. Last year, 14 games, 59 catches, 900 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Again, I'll reiterate what I said when this move initially happened. The Steelers have a tendency to move on from wide receivers at the perfect time. Like, they've done it 3 or 4 times now. Like, you can't sit there and say it's not a pattern.
Tony Brown looking at you.
Yep. Chase Claypool looking at you. Deontay Johnson looking at you. Like, that's what they do. So I know a lot of fans of the Cowboys are excited by it, intrigued by it, because he's not a bad. If you're putting George Pickens, your number 2 receiver, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But it's when you got George Pickens with the head not screwed on correctly, that's a dangerous thing. And I got to think that when the Steelers decided to move on for him, they saw doom impending. So I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm fully expecting a George Pickens implosion at some point. It's going to happen.
Ooh. Should we do an early pick prediction of when the implosion is coming?
No, because it's hard to pick that. It depends on what's going on with the Cowboys, to be honest.
Week 14.
Over
under.
I'll say under probably, but
over. Boom. Lock it in.
There we go. I could beat you on that bet too.
Oh, that's what you think.
Parris Campbell also was added to them. He's not even going to be probably on the active roster that day, but he's a former Giant. So I'll give you guys the heads up. Former Giant was the Eagles last year. 6 catches, 30 yards, and a touchdown. Obviously, he's not very good. Solomon Thomas added to the defensive tackle. This is one of the things they made a big move to change up the defensive tackle and add a lot to it. Solomon Thomas last year with the Jets 16 games, 26 tackles, 3.5 sacks. They also got Kenny Clark in the Micah Parsons trade, which of course we'll get to later on. 37 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and a sack, a 4-time Pro Bowler. So he's a good addition. He's one of those quiet guys that you don't necessarily see jumping off the stat line. You don't necessarily see him, as the team MVP kind of guy, but he's a solid, legit player. They also added back again Dante Fowler, who, of course, we talked about him last week as he left the Commanders, 10.5 sacks last year with them. But he is back onto the Cowboys here. Kenneth Murray also got traded for 14 games last year, 95 tackles, 3.5 sacks, and an interception. Traded from the Titans. Just been a couple years in the league. Actually, a decent young player, I think, actually. So, not a bad pickup for them. And Kaiir Elam from the Bills, the former Gator first-round pick of the Bills a couple years ago, a corner that, quite frankly, just hasn't panned out. Kind of a man-to-man specialist there. So 13 games last year, 4 starts, and 16 tackles. So, I mean, they've added some pieces. That's not too shabby. The problem is more what they've lost. Before I get to what they've lost, though, I should also add Jadeveon Clowney actually got in for a meeting this week with the Cowboys and maybe signing there. That would be a damn good pick for them, to be honest, considering they lost Micah Parsons. They're still trying to replace him. We'll have to see what happens there. But to get a guy like that this late in the season, that's about as good as a replacement as you're going to find.
Pretty much.
At least for 1 year, which is typically how long you play as a team. Just what it is. He's like, he's just 1-2 years. That's the max. Losses. Rico Dowdle, who went off to the Panthers last year, 235 carries, 1,079 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Really was more of a volume result more than anything else. But yeah, he did pretty decent against the Giants there. So, nothing. Who didn't? Wide receiver added. They lost Brandin Cooks, who went to the Saints last year. 26 catches, 259 yards, and 3 touchdowns there. Zack Martin, the longtime guard, retired from the NFL there. So, interesting enough, he's the guy that I wanted years ago. We drafted OBJ, which is, I know is going to sound crazy, but looking back, maybe you can say I'm not so crazy. I wanted them to draft Zack Martin instead of OBJ. Cowboys had picked him, I want to say 2-3 picks later. I really wanted Zack Martin. I thought that kid was going to be a stud from the get-go, which he was. But like I said, that would have been interesting. What if kind of scenario? Wouldn't have had the catch, but would have had a solid piece on the line for the last decade. Like, he is a Pro Bowler. Like, that's how good Zack Martin was. That's not a minor loss.
And compliment Andrew Thomas for how many years,
and all the other guys who got injured.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Long-time Cowboy DeMarcus Lawrence actually left as well. Signed with the Seahawks this past season here. Only 4 games last year, but 3 sacks in those 4 games. But 4-time Pro Bowler, obviously, like I said, a long-time Cowboy there. So that was kind of a surprising loss. I thought they'd figure a way to keep him, especially with the issues with Micah Parsons that, again, we'll get to in a moment here. Chauncey Golston, who do you go to again? Oh, yeah, the Giants. Went to the Giants. Last year, 55 tackles, 5.5 sacks. Carl Lawson also didn't get re-signed. He's actually still unsigned overall. Longtime edge rusher, defensive lineman there. 15 tackles, 5 sacks last year as a part-time player for the Cowboys. Former Giant Linval Joseph, still also unsigned. 19 tackles and 2 sacks there for him. To be honest, at this point, his career is like 45 years old. And yeah, it's just, he's just going to get a couple paychecks where he can to end the career, basically. I wouldn't be shocked if somebody that picks him up if they have injuries to the defensive tackle position, because you can do a lot worse. It's just, he's not the guy you're going to bring in to be your like below average starter.
That guy.
When you have young guys you can try to develop instead. He's just at that point in his career. So, then you got the big one, Micah Parsons, edge position here, went to the Packers, that big trade there not too long ago. And that's, I still can't believe that went down the way it went down.
Neither can I, but at the same time, like, I mean, we talked about it before, like, that that was a move that made absolutely sense to Green Bay.
Yeah,
because of salary cap. Like they had the money. They front loaded, which is absolutely absurd when it comes to contracts these days. Like that's the whereabouts of. It's like, hey, we're going to pay you for this amount. Like if you're a bust, like we're not going to lose that much money anymore. Like that's fine. We're going to cut you when we cut you. But if he's your dude, it's like extend him. Like, hey, listen, you have later in life. You do this, possibly.
Yeah.
Depending on where the market goes. But if he becomes like a guy that gets 10 sacks this year, does Jerry Jones look like a genius?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he looks like a genius no matter what. That's just Jerry Jones for you. He's just doing what he's going to do. I mean,
I'm sure for him hips. Ha
the whole thing is insanity. From like him keep on calling him Michael Parsons instead of saying his own name right. Like it's your star player. You can't even say his goddamn name right. So like him
is that
negotiate without the agent in the room when Parsons tell him point blank, just call my agent. Like all this stuff is just insanity. And then what broke today in this whole thing was apparently, you know who gave the biggest offer for Parsons? It wasn't the Packers. It was the Eagles.
Oh,
the Eagles apparently went in and offered 2 first-rounders, a 3rd rounder, a 5th rounder, and then other assets that they didn't name on top of that. Like they were going all in, willing to give every goddamn thing. And Jerry Jones just refused to trade him within division, which thank you, Jerry, for at least that.
Yeah.
It's just we need to give the Eagles Micah Parsons. Goddamn. But also give the Eagles some credit for trying to make a splash move, and quite frankly, they don't necessarily need to.
Don't. But like, listen, if you can make a move, and Mike Parsons, like, yeah, you have to. Like,
I get it. Like I said, I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm just saying, like, kudos for them not resting on their laurels. Much as I hate to give kudos to the Eagles here, but that's a lot of teams wouldn't do that. They'd be like, "Oh, we're good. We just won the championship." Eric Kendricks, who I mentioned before here, again, still a free agent. Again, 138 tackles for the Cowboys last year. Jourdan Lewis, who left for the Jaguars, cornerback, 16 games, 13 starts last year, 71 tackles, and 1 interception. Amani Oruwariye, remember him? He was with the Giants a couple of years ago. Spent some time with us back in 23, but didn't make it out of camp. He's still a free agent as well. 7 games, 4 starts last year for the Cowboys. So, guys, they've lost a decent amount of pieces. I mean, think about that. Just the pass rush alone. You lose DeMarcus Lawrence, who's been like a great player a long time for the Cowboys. Like I said, 4-time Pro Bowler. You lose Micah Parsons, who is in that elite category of pass rushers. We can say it's safer now because he's not in our division anymore. Like he's a guy who consistently, every year is going to get you probably about 12 sacks. Like that's just what he does. You lose Chauncey Golston, who had your 2nd most sacks last year after Parsons. You lose a veteran pass rusher in Carl Lawson. Like that's a lot of goddamn talent on that pass rush. Absolutely a lot. And I know that you got, Fowler back, and getting Fowler back would have been great if you kept Parsons.
Yeah.
But basically, you just replaced Dante Fowler with Micah Parsons. Like, no offense to Fowler. He's a good player. He's not Parsons. Like, that's just not what he is.
We're near with Parsons.
Yeah. So, I would definitely sit there and say this is a weaker Cowboys team than what has been the last couple of years. If it wasn't for last week, I would say this is a chance for us to actually beat the Cowboys for the first time since the Great Depression. It just goddamn.
I mean, that's what I was saying once this rate went down with Mike Parsons, but like, my God, like
they did play close.
I don't know if it's because the Cowboys come out hot, typically, granted new coaching, or if it's the Eagles always. I can't even say always because they started off really hot the past few years, and last year they kind of just won games by wishy-washy, but the year before and the year before that, like they dominated weeks on end.
Honestly, I think you always got to sit there and look at sometimes the rosters and throw it out the window, because when it's early in the season, things change week to week, and you don't really know until like week 5 or so what you really got. And we don't know what the Cowboys have because they got a lot of new pieces in there.
We also got Schottenheimer over there that's bringing new life.
I mean,
possibly I have to think about it.
You know, and you look at the roster overall, and like I said, it's not as strong. I'm sorry, it's weaker. I see TA there with the Cowboys now. They're weaker. You can't tell me you're losing Micah Parsons and Lawrence and all these pass rushers, and you're somehow stronger on defense. You can't tell me you lost a borderline Hall of Fame guard. Like, that's how good Zack Martin was, and you're not somehow weaker. You know, you lost 1,000-yard rusher. You're weaker. Like, I honestly, guys, when we do this, we don't try to be like just haters. As much as I hate the Cowboys, I'll admit that freely. I won't even try to hide that. Like, I'm a Giants fan. It's in my blood. I was raised to hate them. But I'm just giving you honest analysis here. Like again, if you kept Parsons and added Fowler, you could say, great. You lost Lawrence. You placed him with Fowler, younger player. You know, it's not a bad move there. But when you lose both those guys and just get Fowler, pass rush is bigger. 1,000-yard rusher, gone. Weaker. Like, that's just the honest fact of the matter. Like I said, I'm not even trying to be a jerk about it. I'm really not. One thing I almost forgot to go over with you guys is what they added on the draft there. Tyler Booker, you know, going on through their list of drafting everybody named Tyler that plays offensive line. So they drafted him in the first round, a guard out of Alabama. Donovan, and we never can pronounce this guy's name right. Remember we did this when we did the draft, even going through Zukari, Azura. I'm gonna butcher that. I can't do it. Okay, I feel like this is probably the same way Cowboys fans are. Where they look at Okereke for a little while until he got really good. So they got him also in round 2. They got Siobhan Ravel, the corner out of East Carolina. That's one I actually like a lot. I thought he's going to be a potential good small school pickup for them. You'll probably see Jaden Blue, the running back they got out of Texas as well, who is one guy that I know it's very mixed reactions on him. Like, some people are very high on him, some people are not. We weren't too big a fan of him necessarily. Like, I think he's going to be a bit piece, but there are some people who thought he's going to be a great running back potentially. He's just a fast guy, is what it is. But you know, we'll see what as the year progresses what he does. Right now, week 1 they weren't really doing. They were doing Williams and Sanders. There was their 2 big ones there at the running game. So you know, we'll see. So yeah, again, not an approved team whatsoever. And like I said, we'll find out who's right. We'll find out who's better.
Listen,
probably unfortunately still the Cowboys.
To say if the Cowboys are an improved team or better than last year, or to say if they're better than the Giants is two different questions, but two different answers. I see the comments too. Some people were saying like, "Oh, they still played the returning champs pretty well."
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it's also a divisional rival that's always played each other very tough.
Exactly, like the Browns losing by 1 point to the Bengals.
Yeah,
like when you see each other twice a year, it kind of, you know, makes things a little different like that. So, you know, we'll see what happens there. But let's get into our keys to victory here as we talk about ways the Giants could win, things the Giants have to do to win. The first one is a miracle. A miracle has to occur, at least one. No, I mean, let's be honest, guys. Again, we're all just negative because of last week. It is what it is there. But the first thing is quite obviously the obvious thing for everybody. The quarterback needs time and he needs patience. Now, I put that as just the quarterback. We know it's going to be Russell Wilson starting. I know the people are going to be sitting there saying, I wonder if Jackson Dart's going to get in. I don't know the answer for you guys. If I did, I'd let you know. I don't know. I don't think that happens, though, because I think once you go to Dart, you can't go back.
Absolutely. That's literally what I was about to say. And as bad as Rust looked, he looked like he had rust.
Yeah, rusty rust.
He don't want to throw your rookie to the wolves. Like you're literally like it's not like you're teaching your rookie how to like you're trying to teach him how to swim. And this is saying like, all right, well, the guy that's blowing up your swimmies is taking too long. Let's just throw your rookie into the deep end and figure it out. Good luck.
You know, part of me for that is also I don't think the Giants are the best at admitting mistakes, and that's why we hold on to people for 5-6 years that suck. You know, like that's just what it is. They don't want to admit the mistakes. So it's like you said Russell Wilson was the better guy to start. You decided that. You're not going to change that a week and a half into it. Like that's not going to be enough to do that. You know, like I just don't feel like it is.
No, even if you're not good at admitting mistakes, you still don't give up after a player after 1 week. Like sometimes high caliber players just have bad games.
Yep.
It could be rust. It could be rusty rust. It could just be who the player is going forward, but it also could have just been a bad outing for him.
It also could have been, again, we talked about this before. It could have been that, you know, the Commanders have a better line than we expected. Week to week, year to year, things do change, but year to year especially. And that's not me making an excuse for the Giants. Let me be very clear. Again, the offensive line sucks. But what I'm just saying is that we could have, for all we know, played a top 10 defensive line this year. We don't know what they're going to be yet. So we'll have to see. You know, let's see what happens overall. But yeah, like I said, needs time, needs patience. That clear. Like you can't expect the man to throw within half a second.
Yeah. Listen, week one is over all that overreactions, and that's what I was trying to say after the game.
Yeah,
that's something that
everyone does.
If we would have won, right? We look terrible, but if we would have won, everyone's going to talk about us going to playoffs, this, that.
Yeah. I mean, let me put it this way to you, Rob. Like, let's say hypothetically, remember down in the fourth quarter, the Giants were down by 1 touchdown, 8 points. They had to get the second 2-point conversion to tie it up. But let's say hypothetically they had somehow scored a touchdown, one big play, and then managed to later on get in field goal range and won that game. We would have still had a bad game, but I guarantee everybody would have been excited.
100%. It would have been, we're going to the playoffs.
Oh, I hope not that, because that'd be ridiculous. But I guess what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying it's week one. That's what you do. It's overreactions.
Monday for a reason. They call it overreaction Monday for a reason. And they're all doing it. Every single pundit on TV, every guy on the radio, they're all flipping out. It's 1 week, guys. It's really bad. But let's like I said, we're gonna have to see what happens. And Russell Wilson, like I said, looking at the film because I rewatched everything. Russell Wilson definitely was going and feeling the pressure and hearing footsteps that weren't there towards the end.
Towards the end, yes. He looked a little rusty at the first half, but towards the second half, like he was definitely. He literally was Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I mean, but it was like I get it to a degree because you've been smacked around for the first half of the game. Now in the second half, you're like, okay, I got to do this quick. I got to move this like this. He's a longtime veteran in this league. He's the guy who's supposed to be able to get around that. And if he can't, it is the wrong decision to start him. And it was the wrong decision to sign him point blank, if that's the case potentially.
Yeah. You're right. But also, like, he got smacked around a lot. Like, he got sacked a lot. He was under pressure a lot. Like, it could have been week one jitters, new team. They could have just, there's so much going on under week one. But it's under 1 week, and it's week one with a new team, new organization, new everything. Sometimes it takes players a couple weeks to get into position on a new team, new organization, and new vibes. What's going on? And sometimes there's players that play on the same team for years and have a bad game. It's like it happens.
Yeah, it does.
So, like,
that's what I'm saying. I don't want to overreact as much as we're pissed. I don't want to.
It's week one.
Exactly. Second key to victory, and this is going to sound a little weird after last week, but CeeDee Lamb's got to be kept in check. For those who watched the game there, he point blank, and I hate to say it this way because you can analyze everything so much on these games. It's not even funny. He point blank basically cost the Cowboys that win. And again, you can overanalyze and you can look at plenty of other moves and go, well, if that happened, they would have won too. If that happened, they would have won. They were much earlier in the game, but he was dropping passes at the end of the game. Now, I can tell you because I saw this point blank online. The team got in middle of the night after that game. Like 2-3 hours later, he was back in the field catching the ball at that point with the machine and being working on his crack because he was pissed at himself. So I think we're gonna get a CeeDee Lamb as a man on a mission this week because of what happened last week. And it's hard to have somebody have bad games back to back. But what's also crazier is to say he had a bad game last week when he had 110 yards. But again, you kind of ignore that because you look at the big things he had, the big drops, and it's not something you expected out of him. So I just think he's going to be a man on a mission, and that's a tough matchup. Like I said, he's not in the Justin Jefferson category. Like he's not in that category there, but you could easily make the case, and I might get shot a little bit as a Giant fan saying this. You could easily make the case that he might be the best wide receiver in this division. And it's a very, very strong division for wide receivers.
It's a fair statement to make. You also make the statement that CeeDee Lamb. Well, you make the statement that CeeDee Lamb was supposed to be coming to the season a top 3 receiver in the league, not just here. Like he was in the conversation with Jamar Chase and with Justin Jefferson. Like if anyone does fantasy, those are your top 3. So I know you're saying he wasn't. Neighbors was top 5. 6 at some places.
Yeah. Well, getting away from the fantasy part, I'm just saying just in general, I think just production-wise, which I get the two correlate, but I'm just saying. I get that's what I'm saying, but I'm just making sure people understand that we're not just talking the fantasy part there. It's just like I said, I think he is a legit good player. He is in that top tier of receivers, and he's coming off a game where he's hitting himself basically for not doing what he expects of himself. That's a very dangerous situation for the Giants, and Paulson Adebo definitely has a very big, role to fill in this game, and he's probably going to need some help, to be very frank with you. So, we'll see if he's up for the challenge there. It didn't necessarily look that great in week 1, that's for sure. The third one, Dak Prescott, point blank, needs to be pressured. And what I would love is to see a lot more blitzes. And I'm not saying go on full Wink Martindale and 80% of the plays are blitzes. But if you go look at those plays, Jaden Daniels, when they blitzed, did not look nearly as comfortable, did not look nearly as good. And the blitzing has to happen. We need Abdul Carter in there on a more regular basis, that's for sure. We need this pass rush going. The best way to stop a offense is to disrupt the rhythm. We have the players to disrupt the rhythm. Why would you not take advantage of that?
Listen, and Dak's not mobile like Daniels is anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Like Dak's an older quarterback in this league. Like, I'll say that he's an old guy, but he's older in this league.
Get off
Yeah. Yeah. This actual turf feels pretty tough.
Like I said, I feel like this is an opportunity for this vaulted pass rush that everybody's bragging about, saying it's going to be absolutely amazing and it's going to be, the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like, this is that opportunity now to go ahead and show it. Because, again, I hate to say must win in week 2 because it's so goddamn cliche and it's so never true. But this is about as close as you get to one because you got the Chiefs and the Chargers staring you down for week 3 and 4. And if you go 0-4 to start a season, that's not good.
Yeah. It kills everything. And we talked about, like I said, we talked about this quite a few times. And week 5, what's it? New Orleans?
The Saints. Yeah, so if we win, hypothetically, if we find a way to win this game, even if we lose the next 2 weeks, we're 1-3, we go into the Saints, we beat the Saints, we're now 2-3. I think most people would have been perfectly happy with a 2-3 start considering where the schedule's at.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm not going to say it's a must win, but it's an important win, if that makes sense. If that's a fair statement.
It is.
Next key, the red zone offense has to be more successful. And that's not difficult considering they had zero success whatsoever. But when you get the ball at the 1 yard line and you can't get the damn ball in the end zone, that's an issue. When you get the ball in the red zone and the very first thing you do is a trick play trying to put your rookie tackle in as a receiver, that's an issue.
It's a big issue. That was so ridiculous.
Did we not draft a guy who's a bull rushing running back?
We did. We're scatterdope. What the hell?
Again, we don't know what we got in him. Like, I'm not trying to sit there and say he's the answer. He's the guy in the red zone. We don't know. But you know how you're not going to know ever? By not putting him in the goddamn position.
100%.
See, Rob agrees so much he left. That's how crazy much he agrees there. I mean, like I said, it's insanity. Like, you can't sit there and do what the Giants do and expect to win. You know, like, you got to change things up. You got to succeed when it matters the most. And I don't know why they always do this. And to me, I saw that play. That play specifically. And I rewatched that play when it was a couple of times when I rewatched that game. And that play alone screams to me that Dable's hand's still in this offense. Because that's what it is. Like, that's the kind of play he does. Remember last year against the Steelers in that 2-point conversion where he moved everybody to the left side and just had the center of the quarterback out there on an island? Like, that's the kind of BS he pulls. And we've seen what he does with this offense. It needs to be just give Kafka the reins. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of Kafka, but give him the reins. He's the OC. Let him do his job. Let him control the offense. Let him worry about let Dable worry about the quarterback. That's all he needs to worry about. His year is all about dart. Point blank. So, next up, the run defense has to be better. Now, again, we talked about it. This is not a amazing, stellar offense that we're about to face for running the ball. Javonte Williams last week, 15 carries, 54 yards. He's a steady guy. Kind of reminds me, of Brian Robinson last year with the Commanders. That's the way he's been playing the last couple of years. A guy who is going to get 3-4 yards a game, but never really take it to the house. Though he did have a couple touchdowns on short runs last week. Miles Sanders, 4 rushes for 53 yards. So he definitely used the backup there in that scenario. But again, not great running backs. Like, this team should be able to go ahead and control the line of scrimmage with this defensive line and be able to stop the run with 2 guys who, quite frankly, are quality starting running backs. Like, we've heard about the point blank, the Cowboys were willing to do whatever they had to do at that point the last couple of years to get a quality running back, except, actually pull the trigger. That's a whole separate thing.
Yeah, it's a different issue.
So take advantage, do the thing, get it done.
Done.
Now we're going to go over next episode, our injury report. But I will go over with you guys one thing real quick there as Rob spins around. Rob Bland, the corner, the guy who was Mr. Pick 6 a couple of years ago, has injuries last year, obviously. He's going to be out for the game. The Giants have to take advantage of that, point blank.
Big time.
Yeah, because that means you got a backup in there at one of those two sides. We'll see what they do overall if they go ahead and, put Diggs on Neighbors and have him follow him around like a puppy dog. But, don't forget what Kadarius Toney did against him a couple of years ago. He's not necessarily a great corner. He's a guy who goes for the ball, and that's one thing. Well, Russell Wilson needs to do what he did last week as far as not throwing picks. That's for damn sure. But we got to take advantage. Whenever there's a guy out, you got to take advantage. So I'm really expecting to see. I want to see a focus on Neighbors because that's going to happen no matter what. I think what it's more is having him out. Is that going to open it up more for Wan'Dale and for Slayton? Who, point blank, if Slayton's not used again this week, I'm going to throw up and like throw a hissy fit, basically.
Yeah,
that's my threat because I have no power whatsoever. But it's like,
I mean, what was his biggest play last week?
One target, 0 catches.
Yeah, that's what Matt that went nowhere.
Yeah, like that's insanity. Why even pay the guy if you're not going to throw him the ball?
Well, didn't throw the ball that well. Wandale had a good game, but
Wandale did. And maybe Wandale's the guy that takes advantage of this. We'll find out. But I'm just saying,
I hope so.
Whenever they take advantage of it, take advantage. You know, you don't necessarily want to be the jerk to root for injuries, but you definitely want to be the guy who's smart enough to take advantage of it.
100%.
Yeah. So, like I said, that's the keys. If we can go ahead and the quarterback gets a little time, shows a little patience, we keep CeeDee Lamb in check, we keep Dak Prescott under pressure, we're successful in the red zone, we stop the run, at least we stop being embarrassed by the run, and we take advantage of DeRon Bland being out. That's key success right there. Like, we should win in that scenario. And I'm going to tell you guys point blank, I don't want to ruin it for the picks episode tomorrow. I'm not going to pick the Giants to win this because of how bad they looked last week. I don't think anybody in their right mind is going to have to, going to go ahead and pick the Giants and be confident about it. Like, that'd be insane. But I don't think this is unwinnable by any stretch of the imagination. It's just we're not going to win and play like we played last week. No way.
Something's got to change.
Yeah. Something's got to give there. And a lot of things happen.
Looking at you, coach staff.
Yep. Seriously, this coaching staff's got to figure it out.
There's a lot of good playmakers out there, and there's a lot of good time. There's a lot of bad calls and winnable plays. Is what I would say. Like, there was plenty of times where the Giants were in a good position and made bad calls.
Damn straight.
Had bad turnouts. And that's what lost us the game. Like, literally, like, how many times were we close to the red zone and made terrible calls?
Every time.
Yeah. Literally, 2 of those times.
Yeah.
2 of those times.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it. Different game.
It's bad. All right, let's get to the comments here real quick before we head on out for the night there. Jason Noah says we're going to get dog walked. Hopefully not. But like I said, I'm not going to roll it out.
They're Cowboys, not dogs.
That's true. Be horse ridden out. I don't know.
Cow.
Nope. We got more comments. I'll get into this a little bit there. Tavio says coaching. Yes, coaching sucks. Anthony says I already picked the Cowboys in my weekly parlay. I can't blame you. Jason says I think it's a 2 or 3 score game. Do you mean we lose by 2 or 3 scores, or do you mean 2 or 3 scores for the game over? I think he means that. Yeah. And this is Jay Snow. It's nothing serious. Greg says gonna have to roll out. Yes, and that's the problem, is that he's too slow to roll out now. He can't see over the line. He's too slow to get around it. So, let's see here. Jason knows says JMS is a bust. I mean, so far, so yeah, you're definitely not wrong so far. He says Jason says Wandale is an ankle injury already. Yeah, it's no biggie. Wouldn't worry about that one. Jason knows it must suck to be a 5A quarterback when your inside offensive line caves in. I would say just either one of those statements by themselves must suck. Being a 5A quarterback or having your inside offensive line cave in. So that together, yeah, bad mix. Then throw in the cement cleats he's wearing.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Anthony says Russ can't see a thing over the offensive line. Yeah, no, he's like, can't do it. Jay says, Jay Snow, he looks like those Rams on the National Geographic Channel talking about. Cam Scattaboo here. Jay says, props to Diggs for coming back from those crazy knee injuries. I thought he was way cooked. Yeah, I think everybody did. I think it's pretty safe to say I think everybody did. But, we'll see what's left. I haven't really seen him in quite a while play. I didn't get a chance to watch much Monday because we were on with you guys. I try not to do too much multitasking with the games when they're on because it just gets a little bit much. But thanks to the Thunder delay, I got to see some of the game afterwards, but didn't get to focus on him specifically there. Jason says, no, he runs. Oh yeah, we're talking about Scattaboo again. Let's see here. Go back up here. He said Scat's gonna break his neck the way he runs. He runs with his head completely down. Yeah, I'm gotta learn to get that done. Jay says Bland got $90 million. He isn't good either. He got a lot of pick sixes. Then he says you need to start naming names, Drew. Jim, Bob, Carl, Harold. Any other names you want specifically? Drew, Rob. Oh my God. Let's get back to the newer comments here.
I was about to say, hold on, wait. There's one comment from Deb I wanted to just address real fast. Week 1 jitters from a Super Bowl QB. Really? How did Jared Goff look? That's all I want to say. Because he didn't look that great either. What about Joe Flacco? Oh, wait, he won one too.
But Joe Flacco, in all fairness, would have won his game against the Bengals if his receivers...
They messed that up. You're right. But I'm just saying.
His kicker didn't miss an easy field goal.
I'm going to give Flacco a pass. I'm just saying, like, you're going to put hate out there.
I'm not putting
play great.
I'm putting frustration out there.
Listen, I get the frustration. Because he played like dog. He played like a dog. Absolutely terrible dog. Not like a good dog.
Well, I'm just saying it that way because, like, obviously I still root for Russ. I still wish that it was an anomaly and he starts the Pro Bowl season and we go to the playoffs. Like, I want all that. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think that's what's going to happen.
No, but I'm just saying, like, to say week 1 jitters, like,
listen,
he looks so much better.
He did not look good. Damn sure. He did not look good.
Joe Burrow?
You got to win.
You got to win, but should have been more dominant.
Yeah.
He's a terrible Chiefs team.
I know. Let's see here. Jay says maybe we can get Russ stilts so we can see out the middle of the field. Issues. Jay says no Olive Garden this week. It was bad luck. That's for you, Rob. They were all suggesting you were at the Olive Garden when the game was going on live. First off, who goes to the Olive Garden to watch NFL football? Is that a thing I'm unaware of?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And second off, who goes to the Olive Garden in general?
Yeah, it's about to say, is that still a thing? I guess, but
it's a thing. It's just not a good thing.
They got the breadsticks.
Like the Giants, it's a thing, just not a good thing.
I worked at an Italian restaurant. Olive Garden.
Anthony says Russ has never used the middle of the field. No, because he can't see it. Jay says, Jason, no, don't talk about Rob's eating again. Come on. Jason, listen, I love the free bread too. I'm not hating on it. You should hate on it. Olive Garden is the Taco Bell of Italian cuisine. I'm sorry. It's horrible. No self-respecting Italian should go there. And even if you're just in Jersey, New York area, because I know obviously people like me don't live in there. I live in Florida. Always, when you're a Giants fan, but there's plenty of good places to go. Not the Olive Garden. Just saying.
You would never catch me at Olive Garden, will he? That's all I'm saying.
Even here in Tampa Bay, there's this great Italian deli called Mazzaro's that I go to occasionally. And I listen, I'll go there all the time if I was closer at that point there, but it's really good Italian food. You always find that one place. CJ says, you got a tranquillo on that pasta. Listen, everybody loves pasta. Anthony says, I'm putting the hate out there. I think that's not hate. That's you still, Anthony, tell me I'm wrong here, that you wouldn't love it for Russ to turn around and be the Russ of 10, 15 years ago.
Of course. Well,
I'm not
13, right? 2012 was his draft.
But it's not hate, it's frustration. And it's a lack of trust and it's a lack of confidence. There's a difference between that and hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jay says Russ looked bad, but not many quarterbacks ever look good for us. Yes. So, Anthony says, Rob, don't talk about Joe Burrow. He killed me in fantasy last week. Jay Snow says, does Olive Garden have TVs? Haha. I don't know.
I could say, listen, I had Lamar Jackson and I had Brock Purdy.
Chili's does. I know Chili's does. Applebee's and those kind of places. I would assume Olive Garden would. Maybe they just put soccer on there. Football. You want football?
Football.
Football on a Sunday. That way they can pretend to be authentic. Jay says the Rob the lie detector said that was a lie. He's going all Maury Povich on you that you haven't gone to Olive Garden in a while.
Dude, I worked at an Italian restaurant for years. Like
you think Olive Garden specifically?
Yeah, I'm saying. Yeah, that's BS.
Unlimited soup and breadsticks. There you go. Jay Stowe says, I'm Italian. I've literally been there once. I've never chosen it. Never chosen it. I think I've gone there once or twice, but I'm like, oh, let's go to Olive Garden.
Probably.
Yeah, no. Like,
listen, I live in Jersey. Why would I go to? Listen, if I want Italian food, why would I go to an Olive Garden? My God, I would get offended by that. I'm a fat kid. Why would I go to Olive Garden?
Because of the limited soup and breadsticks. You need it as a fat kid.
Yeah, here, I'll eat real Italian food. Listen,
Jason,
I could go to Soda Bella in Jackson and get twice as much food for like just the same amount of money would it cost me to go to Olive Garden to get unlimited breadsticks.
Jason,
way better.
I know Mexicans who go to Taco Bell. It's okay. Oh, wait, listen, Taco Bell is amazing. It's probably not the best analogy because I can eat Taco Bell every single day. It's just not authentic, and it's like fast food version.
It is fast food, and it's.
But that's what I'm saying. Olive Garden is like fast food Italian. I feel like it's the closest here to get to a drive-through to get some chicken.
That was the first time I got diabetes.
Jason says Taco Bell is fire. They have the fire sauce. They're also bringing back. I heard for a little while the caramel apple empanadas.
Are they?
I heard that they're bringing a Y2K, bringing things back from the 2000s, and the caramel apple empanada is coming back. I freaking used to love that. So, let's see here. And he also said you guys live in Florida. No, I live in Florida. He's in Jersey.
Yeah,
I'm from Jersey. I just got the hell out because it's too goddamn expensive.
I live in Jersey and I do a lot of work in New York. You think I go to Olive Garden for Italian food? My God.
Yeah, I know.
I was little Italy today. I was looking at the giant Ferris wheel that's in the middle of the streetlights because they're about to have Italian festival this weekend. My God.
Like Godzilla in Little Italy. It's Italy, so little. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh.
It's funny between my toes.
See, I am Italian. I can do the voice. It's okay. That's the rule. Anthony said, you aren't wrong, Drew. I love it. He just isn't that guy anymore. But that's what I'm saying. That's not hate, Anthony. That's not hate. That's a lack of trust and a lack of confidence. That's fine. That's not hating. You're allowed to do that. And anybody tells you otherwise, you tell them I said otherwise. You can do it.
And go otherwise to
otherwise. Say, who is Drew? And he'll say, well, here's where you go to see his podcast. Watch him and drop. Jay says we all turn back the clock, but Father Time is. We all want to turn back the clock, but Father's Time is undefeated. Yes, tell my knees that are killing me right now just from sitting down in a chair. Yes, I'm old. Jay says the best quarterback play I've seen in a long time was Tyrod Taylor for us. That's sad as it is. That's probably not wrong. No. Drew Lock against the Colts.
I was about to say
Drew Lock against the Colts. That one game.
It was funny. I was actually talking about the Giants' history, and someone brought up on a podcast. Someone was talking about on a podcast. I'm not sure which one it was. And they said the Giants have not won by more than 6 points, and I think it was 4 or 5 years. Is what it said. I said no. Okay. Summer last year, we beat the Colts.
Yeah, we did it once
by a lot,
and they gave us revenge. Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Wow.
Anthony says, I'd love to turn back the clock to 2011, Jay. Would that be 14 years ago? So I'd be 29 years old again. There we go. I'll take it. He says 2012. No, 2011. I still am 29 at that point. That's what we got to do. I'm 40 then. I'm 30 then at that point. Too old. Jay says, Rob fighting against allegations. LOL. I've never been to Olive Garden. Me thinks he does pasta protest too much.
I do work around the corner of a place where I could get my own pasta made.
Yeah.
Get out of here with that.
Anthony says, I'm first generation American from a full Italian heritage. I wouldn't touch Olive Garden's parking lot. Damn straight. The way to be. Jay says, though, you got to try Olive Garden at least once. It's like, you ever see the guy who it's this married couple that are on TikTok, and I wish I knew the name off the top of my head. They just pop on my feed occasionally, but the guy is full on Italian, and the wife likes messing with him by doing things like breaking the pasta before she puts in the water and stuff like that, just to see him flip out. And he lost some kind of bet with her and had to go to Olive Garden. It was hilarious.
You said that to me. That's fine.
Oh my god. Anthony says absolutely not, Jace. No. Jace says just for shits and giggles. It'll give you the shits, that's for sure. At least. Jace says
you won't be giggling
at Olive Garden. Oh, I forgot they had a tour of Italy thing. Somehow I don't think it's authentic though. Greg says Fazoli's, which I've never been to a Fazoli's. I know they have them here in Florida. Have you ever been to a Fazoli's?
Yeah.
You know what it is? It just sounds authentic, but it can't be, because it's a large chain, I know, and I feel like we used the most. They made it sound as authentic as possible with the name, and they just added a big tomato for their logo to make it seem authentic. But yeah, it can't be. It can't be. It just doesn't look it. Jay says he
just question. Sorry, Jay Snow question. Maggiano's.
Oh, Maggiano's on us.
Just asking. Anyway,
Jay says he controls all the vacuum sales in New York City. Oh yes.
Sucking up that pasta.
San Gennaro. Little Italy has changed so much. I just moved to New Jersey. It's cheeks. Now that doesn't sound very Italian at all. That sounds British.
No, it sounds very younger than us, Drew. It's like clapping cheeks. It's awesome.
Vacuum store. That's the running joke now, and that the other Jay has for us there. He always says that Rob sells vacuums and I sell used tires, because, like most people when we're doing online, you're not going to tell too much on your personal life at that point there, especially at work. So you don't want to get like work pissed at you for talking about it. So he says he's in sales, which he is, and I say that I'm in the automotive repair industry, which I am. And that's pretty much where we ended at. So Jay has decided to go ahead and complete our backstory for us for the rest of the audience. Jason's like the guy in Breaking Bad. I never watched that show.
Neither have I, actually. It's on my to-do list, but
yeah.
But hopefully Jay would see the Callaway and it gave me a backstory of playing golf. But nope, I sell vacuums.
And it's sorry for the loss, Jason. No, I'm trying to get out of this state. Yeah, it took me a while to get out of Jersey. And he says pretty much Jason. No, Jason says I moved from New York to New Jersey, still commute to New York City. Yeah, welcome to Rob's world. That's what he does. While he's
hey, whoa, sometimes I can still go out to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Listen, I was in King of Prussia yesterday.
Jay says it feels like everyone hates where they live nowadays. I do too. I don't hate where I live, but I wouldn't be opposed to moving. It has to be the right place. Like, because I have a lot of equity in my house because Florida real estate went way the hell up. So if I had the chance to like sell my house and buy a place cash, I'd be very happy to get a rent mortgage. But I also live near like the greatest beaches in the entire country, so it's difficult. It's difficult. Jay says, I wish I lived in Florida. You say that, and everybody says that. But I'll tell you this: statistics, people that move back are kind of crazy. It's pretty bad, actually. It's a high rate. It's not cheap to live here, man. It's not.
It's a higher rate of people going down than people coming back.
They go down, but then they go back up. They just don't go back up to New York, New Jersey area. They go back to like South Carolina or Georgia, Alabama, places like that. Tennessee.
The stay rate's higher than the move out rate.
Is it? I don't know. I gotta look at it. I don't know the exact statistics, but it's just like I said, it's expensive to live here, dude. Your guys' groceries in Jersey is cheaper than it is down here. I'm telling you. You can give it. I lived here and went there just like a couple weeks ago. You saw me. We did a show together. Yeah. It's cheaper groceries in Jersey than it is in Florida. Anthony says that's actually where we're looking there, or Delaware, Florida. Are you coming to Florida, Anthony?
There's no state tax in Delaware, so
no one goes to Delaware. Even people in Delaware aren't like. What was that? Remember the Wayne's World when they were like,
we're in Delaware. Oh, hey.
Like, there's nothing there. There's a NASCAR track and a couple of beaches that nobody knows about unless they live in Delaware.
It's not that bad.
Jay says Florida seems like heaven for wacky middle-aged people. I am down. That's why I'm here. That's exactly why I'm here.
And retired people.
And he says, let's see. Jay says Delaware's for tax cheaters. Well, yes, there's a lot of states for that. It's the Ireland of the U.S. basically, Delaware. And Jay says, yeah, and tons of Publix. Yeah, Publix is expensive. Jay says Colorado or Florida. Anthony says Maggiano's is supreme, like a pizza.
It's not Jay saying it though.
Yeah, no, he's not. Greg says I'm stuck in Kentucky. Sorry to hear that. At least you got some bluegrass
and some good bourbon.
Well, you can get the bourbon elsewhere. Jay So says, what, you guys haven't seen Breaking Bad? No. Honestly, I know too many damn people that have died of drugs things. So like drug shows and all just ain't my thing. Unfortunately.
So, we are from Jersey.
Yeah, like literally, like, it was the point where like friends would call me up and were like, "Who died now?" Like that kind of bad. So yeah. Jay says, have you seen all those YouTube videos of mechanics quitting and complaining? It's crazy. I haven't, but I can't blame them because everything is changing so much that industry. It's not even funny. Like I'm not in the mechanics part of it any longer. Again, I don't too much into, but it's becoming so crazy with all these electric cars and these sensors and stuff where it's like you got to be a computer programmer now to fix these things. It's insane. Greg says from Virginia. See, Virginia's one place I looked at. Richmond, I thought would be kind of a cool place to move to if I ever decided to move. A little bit, you get a little bit of winter that way, but it still looks nice. Jason says I'm stuck in New York City. I work construction. They build buildings elsewhere. I promise you. It's not just New York City. Jason Breaking Bad is a good show. Great, I like it. You guys like it? Great. Jason says, have you guys not seen The Sopranos too? Hold on. Let me just tell you. Rob, tell the story.
Nope. I just showed the story.
Tell the story.
Did it again, right?
You may have seen Rob
3 times.
No.
4 times. I was
there
in the last episode of The Sopranos.
Damn straight he was. Rob, seen on TV.
Listen, they're telling you that was filmed in New York or whatever it was. That was Montclair High School. It wasn't at college.
Did they do scenes like Seabright too, like a beach house or something?
I mean, I wasn't for that shoot. I was there for Montclair High School when what's his face? The son was picking up his girlfriend.
His face. Well, what's his face and what's his face or what's his face things?
There's what's his face. It's doing the what's face thing.
Yeah. Bada big, bada boom. Jay says all my contractor friends are drunks. It says a ship ball house is about 1 million where I live. So if you can leave, you can't move back. You stuck. I mean, it's about 500,000 here, but the thing is, they don't like to pay that. Well, that's for sure. Anthony says, I'm trying to, Drew. Come on down. Jay Snow says, Delaware's ass. Okay. It's just a drive-through state. And if you drive through it east to west, it takes you literally 2 minutes. Anthony says,
you'll be in the water.
He says, you're right there. Absolutely nothing in Delaware, but Southern Delaware has nice courses and good food. It also has cheap cigarettes.
Yeah, you buy cartons down there if you're from Jersey.
Jay Snow says you love hitting on the old ladies in Florida. I can't hit on the old ladies in Florida. I already have a wife. Do not get me in trouble, damn it. I do enough of that on my own. Jay says,
call up your wife right now.
Bobby Skinner is there. Is his sidekick Dr. Evil there? I'm down cheap and near the beach. He's not in Melbourne. I do know where he's at. I'm not going to disclose that part, but it's not Melbourne. It's not far from there. But yeah, I mean, I actually never even been to Melbourne. I don't travel to the East Coast much, and this is going to sound bad, especially it's a New York Giants podcast. But the East Coast of Florida is so much different from the West Coast. It's a lot more high, like high stress, rat racy kind of stuff like that. And I think a lot of it's kind of got a lot of more people that are just kind of brought the New York, mentality down with them. Whereas I wanted to move somewhere that's a little slower pace, and the West Coast has a lot more Midwesterners. So don't you know it's a lot more slow pace there, don't you know?
Oh, yeah.
So, Trail Deuce has got no idea why your team acquired Wilson, who's been horrible for years. Because have you seen Daniel Jones? Jason, any longer? Willie says, I like Florida, but I live here in Houston, Texas, and I love it here, and I'm a Cowboys fan. Well, glad you like it. Glad you like where you live, and sorry for your poor decision. No, I honestly, I've got to the point where I just feel bad for Cowboys fans because, like, honestly, and it's weird that I've gotten to that point now where it's like Jerry Jones just keep messing y'all up. You haven't won a championship in 30 years. That's not me trying to be a jerk about it. It's just like, honestly, like, that's frustrating. I couldn't imagine, like, especially to be winning so many years and just not winning playoff games. That's got to get frustrating. Like, it's a totally different frustration that we're dealing with, but it's still a frustration.
You don't even, you get hopes to go to the playoffs. You get there and you get no hopes of a good draft pick.
Yeah. As Jay says, a lot of mechanics are just saying, F it, going to trades, can't make any money. You can. It's just most of them are doing it old school. Trust me, you can. Jay says, yeah, that's why cars suck now with all these computers. Damn straight. He says it's hard to find a union job in Florida. To be honest, just hard to find a good paying job in Florida overall. And that's what I'm saying. Florida isn't as expensive to live in as Jersey as far as your expenses, but the income is definitely harder to come by than it is up in Jersey. So, like, when I first moved here, I'll give you guys a little bit of the insight to the past stuff. When I used to live in Jersey, I worked for the cable company. I worked for Cablevision for years. I can say that because I don't work there anymore. When I came down here, I went to go work for the cable company here, and they wanted to offer me like a third of what I was making. Like, literally a third. Like, that's the difference sometimes in the prices to what you get paid in Jersey compared to New York. I mean, luckily, I got a good job now. I should make more money down here than I ever made up there. But, it's not something that most people say. Usually not this scenario. I just worked my tail off. Jay says, cars are like iPhones now. They get replaced every 2 years. Nobody cares to fix them. Just wait. It's going to get worse.
A lot worse.
Try to say, hey, Willie, Cowboy fan from Florida, too. See, we got a couple Cowboy fans there. Glad to see you guys there. I'm in the Redlands. Where are the Redlands? Maybe not in Florida. I saw the from Florida. Maybe not in Florida when you say that. Because I'm trying to think where the Redlands are in Florida. I've never heard of that area. Jay says it's hard to take trades to different areas. That's the one that sucks about trades. You got to start all over again. Again, depends on what you do. As this is bada bing, bada boom. Greg, they do have some good green grass in Kentucky. I heard it's blue, Greg. I heard it's blue. Beautiful bluegrass. Kentucky bluegrass. Also, you got some horse races, right? And baseball bats.
They trample that grass.
And whiskey. Willie says, Trail Dude, what up, fellow cowboy? Trail Dude, not much. I love it. People are just talking back and forth. This. Jay says, if I lived in Kentucky, it would be Golden Corral of the Daily. I don't give a. Oh my God, the Golden Corral again.
My God, these guys.
Jason says, someone said Bobby Skinner is like 6'8". Is that true?
6'8".
Oh, 6'8". Yeah, he's my height. He says he's 6'7". So I never met him in person. We've chit-chatted plenty of times, and he's been on the show a couple times, and he's had us on his prior show, we'll say. I don't want to give the names. We're definitely on Team Giants Nation here. But yeah, like I said, he's a tall dude. I've seen him next to people in videos, and he's definitely a tall dude. Jay says, yes. He has the same body as Drew. No, we don't share a body. We're not Siamese twins, Jay.
Be weird.
Trell does the East Coast is all people from the Northeast and Midwest. Yeah, like I said, it's a higher, quicker paced kind of thing. He says, I'm on the East Coast of Florida. See, he knows. Let's see here. Jay says, is he ex-football player? No, just like me, he's just a tall, goofy bastard with no coordination.
Very, very good at defending offensive line.
He used to play O-line. I know that. I don't know if he played in college, if he got that far, but I remember him saying at one point he played offensive line. So I don't know if he just played in high school or I can't remember off the top of my head. But I know he's mentioned it before. I played left bench myself. I say all the time. I went up played in high school. I just wasn't any good. So the back end of the bench there. Jay says, like a tall, lumpy telephone pole. Jay says, my cousins just moved to Sarasota. That's about an hour away from me there. It's not a bad neck of the woods. Tell your cousins, if they haven't already, check out Venice Beach area. You can go hunting for shark teeth there. The sand is like black. It's all on a fossil bed. And you can go sifting through and you can find shark teeth. And you can find like megalodon teeth sometimes even. It's pretty cool. Not a lot of places you can do that. Jay says, I bet the humidity sucks. Yeah, you get used to it here. Okay, guys, we're at the point now where I think we're 20 minutes just going through comments here. I appreciate you guys there. But we got a lot of comments here, and Rob and I got to go to bed eventually. We do. It's 10:30. We don't know where our children are. It's as Anthony says, that's a fun thing to do in Florida. There's plenty of fun things to do in Florida. It just depends where you're at. So hit me up on X and I'll tell you. So, guys, that's going to call it a night for us. We'll be back again tomorrow night where we'll talk more about football and less about Florida and where you live. No, like I said, it's all cool. That's what I love about doing a live show. It's like everything's all over the place and you just never know what's going to happen, what the conversation's going to be. So appreciate you guys for coming in here and spending the evening with us there. As he says, Jason's Drew withholding a lot of names tonight. Boo. Listen, I told you guys, I don't like to talk trash about other content creators like that. There's only one that I've trashed multiple times in the show because, quite frankly, I've been on with them on things in the past, and they were schmucks. And that's the New York Giants 366, which I've said that from the get-go. I don't like those guys, point blank. It is what it is. Now, I will say that is my opinion, not Rob's. He hasn't had beef with them. I have. So, like I said, and it goes back years, by the way. I just hold a grudge. Like years before we did the show, I hold a grudge. I'm that guy. I admit it freely. Like once you're a schmuck, I'm just going to assume you're a schmuck for life until proven otherwise. Just the way I am.
That is true.
I can forgive, but yeah, it is what it is. As Jay says, never heard of them. It's okay. You don't want to. Anyway. They're more of a Facebook thing. It's kind of an older page that's been on there for a while. And they used to do like live shows on Facebook and stuff like that. But like I said, I don't even know what they're up to anymore because I flat out don't follow them. I blocked them on pretty much everything there. So, but I do see them occasionally because I don't block them on the podcast page, so I can tell them how stupid they are in comments sometimes when they post things that are idiotic. But anyway, we'll be back again tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, we are live on YouTube, the preferred platform, along with, of course, Facebook, Twitter /X, Twitch, and of course, Rob's favorite,
just like the profile,
my LinkedIn profile. And of course, as always, we're available the next day on all the audio podcast platforms as well: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all the big ones there. So again, if you haven't already, do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share button, tell a friend there. Appreciate you guys for listening, watching. As always, Giants fans, we'll see you guys again tomorrow night there. Go ahead and whoop Rob's butt again in week 2 of the picks there. Oh, yeah. Talking trash. Listen, I got to take the victories where I can.
Yeah, one good year.
Listen, I had 2.
It wasn't even that good of a year.
I still think I won year 1. So,
You think a lot of things, Drew.
Yeah. So, as Willie says, sleep is good if you have to get up for work. Yeah, we do. 5
a.m. goes fast.
Yeah, I'm up at 6, so it's not quite as bad. But I still got more stuff to do here with clips and all for you guys. So again, appreciate you guys for coming on here with us here tonight. Everybody that's watching afterwards, appreciate you guys as well. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Appreciate it as always. And as always, Giant fans,
go David! Sucks,
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging.